Injured at least 3 children in what appears to be a slow but steady increase in tensions. Here's our Jerusalem correspondent Jackie Rowland.
Earlier in the day on Thursday, the Israeli army released a statement in which it said that nearly 20 mortars and rockets had been fired from Gaza into Israel during the month of May. And you may remember that one of those rockets did kill an agricultural worker who was working in some greenhouses just to the north of the Gaza Strip. Now, while 20 rockets in the space of 1 month might not sound a huge amount compared to the intensive rocket fire which preceded and during the Gaza war of just over a year ago, nevertheless, in comparison to recent months, it did mark an escalation. And the Israeli army stated quite clearly that it held Hamas responsible, even if individual rockets or mortars were not actually fired by groups of Hamas fighters, even if they were fired by other groups. The Israeli army said that Hamas controls the Gaza Strip, therefore Hamas is responsible for ensuring the peace between the Gaza Strip and Israel. Let's take a look now and remind ourselves of the events that took place overnight.
Residents of Gaza running for their lives as Israeli aircraft pound the territory. An ambulance rushes to help victims in the latest military strikes. The nighttime raid struck multiple targets throughout the Strip. Palestinian medical staff say flying glass and other debris wounded several children. Daylight revealed destroyed buildings, piles of twisted metal, and residents wondering what to do next. The aircraft hit an open area in Rafah, near the Egyptian border, and a former Jewish settlement in Khan Yunis. Another target was a workshop in central Gaza. And 2 locations were struck in Gaza City, including one, locals say, was a cheese warehouse. Israel claims weapons factories and storage facilities were hit. A Hamas spokesman tells Al Jazeera the Israeli government is to blame for the escalating situation.
We hold the government of Netanyahu responsible for the escalation. We hold them responsible for the explosion of the situation and the dangers those airstrikes tonight will have on the Palestinian population in the Gaza Strip.
Israel's military says its attacks were a response to a recent surge in rocket fire from Gaza. One killed a farm worker last month. Hamas has blamed fringe groups for the rockets, but Israel says it's Hamas who must answer for any attacks that originate from Gaza. Azhar Sukri, Al Jazeera.
Jackie, we speak of rising tensions, but another thing that could be causing some friction at the moment is restrictions on travel in the Old City this Good Friday. Can you tell us more about that?
The police are saying, they're stressing that this isn't different to any restrictions in previous years, but I think it's particularly intense because at the moment we have the Jewish Passover coinciding with the Christian Easter. And of course, it's a Friday as well, when normally Muslim worshippers would wish to enter the Old City to go and pray at Al-Aqsa. Now, the restrictions imposed by the police are that no Palestinian men under the age of 50 can enter the Old City. Now, the police say this is designed to make sure that youths don't go into Al-Aqsa and possibly clash with police. But in practice, we have to remember that there are Palestinians who are Christians as well as Palestinians who are Muslims. So on this Good Friday, if a young Palestinian man, a young Christian Palestinian man, wants to go into the Old City, he is going to find himself subjected to the same checks, identity checks, checkpoints, blocks, barriers as any other Palestinian.